Welcome back to another episode. Today we are discussing this cute little bottle, Deep Blue Blend. And we have my new friend, Emilie Bell. She's visiting, and we're so happy to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
If they're just now listening and haven't met you before, will you tell us who you are and what you do here at doTERRA?
Yes, so I've been with doTERRA for almost 7 years. I'm based in Australia on the West Coast, and I'm part of the sourcing team. I oversee the sourcing of our oils from the Asia Pacific, Oceania, and parts of Europe region.
I want to ask you, because I've been wanting to ask you this for a while, what's your favorite part of your job?
Oh my gosh, so many different parts. But I would say one thing that really gets me up in the morning and when I go to bed makes me feel happy is that with the sourcing aspect of the oils, I know I'm helping at least one person every day, whether it's someone using the oil like you, or whether it's someone that actually been growing the crops or distilling the oil. I've touched one person today. So that's
so great.
So special.
That's so great. While you're talking, I'm sitting here thinking, of course, the product pulled me into doTERRA, but the sourcing had me stay. It really pulls on my heartstrings. And I just love that you're out there on the ground, meeting our farmers and making the relationships happen and bringing it all together. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. Okay, let's jump into Deep Blue Blend.
One of the favorite products in my family, I can tell you.
Okay, you guys are big Deep Blue fans.
Oh, yeah.
And I know this has quite a few products in the lineup, but we're going to just talk about the oil, which I think kind of gets forgotten. And I don't know if the stick and the raw, I don't know if they're all the same components or mixture. So please educate us on the blend. First of all, tell us where we're getting this oil.
Well, one oil that I would focus on in terms of Deep Blue is Wintergreen, and actually the Chinese sourced Wintergreen. So we source two types of Wintergreens from two different countries. Nepal, you're probably all more familiar with the Nepalese Wintergreen that is in our single, but we also source Wintergreen from China, and that's one of the main oils in our Deep Blue products.
That's fantastic. I'm only familiar with Nepal, or at least that's the media that I've witnessed. So can you share some insights on the other location, the China location? Have you been there?
Sure. I have a team, of course, in this part of the world. So Simon is based in China. He oversees all the sourcing of our Chinese oils, and he's on the ground a lot, visiting, all the different supply chains.
Good job, Simon. I meant to shout out to him last episode too.
And he, takes wellness advocates also sometimes to some of our sourcing locations in China. But the Chinese Wintergreen comes from a province called Yunnan, which is on the southwest side of China. Lots of very big mountains there. So Wintergreen actually grows at about 1,800, 2,300 meters altitude. So people actually have to go up in the mountain to harvest the Wintergreen. It's close to the ground. So it's quite easy to harvest.
Like a shrub.
We could say like a shrub. And it's interesting because historically, it was always wild harvested in China. But over the last 3 years, we've actually been working with our supply chain partners there and the farmers to cultivate it. So we've been starting that over the last 3 years, which will help us, bring more volume of this amazing oil that we love so much in products like Deep Blue.
Teach us. What part is it? The leaf? Is it the stem? And take us through the whole distillation process. I know nothing about this.
Okay, so so it's mainly the leaves. Okay, so when they harvest it by hand, they take like the stems and the leaves. So it's up in the mountain. So there are actually micro-distilleries that are set up in different areas of the mountain.
Oh, interesting.
So the farmers will actually collect the raw material and bring it to the distillery so it can get distilled there and then.
Wait, when you say you said it's up in the mountain, are they like hiking mountains to get to these? Or oh, interesting.
Yeah. Fun fact about oil: Wintergreen oil is one of the rare oil that is actually heavier than water. So you know how we talked about steam distillation and, you have the steam going through the raw material to pick up all the components and then, gets transformed back into a liquid as part of the process. So usually, like lavender, for instance, you would have, the oil is lighter than the water. So in the separator, at the end of the distillation process, you would pick up the oil usually from the top, right? Wintergreen is heavier than water. So that means you're picking it up from the bottom of the separator.
Interesting. So how are they collecting that from the bottom?
So it's like a little faucet type of thing
yes.
that you just open up and then you can collect the oil.
Okay, so I can't stop thinking about the people climbing the mountain and gathering. Will you tell us a little bit more about the people on the ground?
Yeah, it is a difficult job for sure, going to harvest wintergreen. But what is very interesting is those farmers are usually women. That harvest wintergreen.
I love that so
I know.
much. We just need to
we help so many people, as well like that. So they might be growing something else, right? Just, regular farming. But then, regularly they can go up in the mountain. We can harvest for quite a few months during the year.
I was just going to ask you, when is that? What's the timing
so
of the
from
harvest?
June time onwards, for a few months, they usually go and harvest. So it's an additional income to them from their other farming, development. So it's quite special that they have the opportunity to do that.
Special is the perfect word. It feels very special to me. And it also makes me cherish this a little bit more, having that information. That's so great. Well, you mentioned that your family loves Deep Blue in general. Share with us how you're using it, how it's working for your family. Tell us all the tips.
Yeah, so we love sports. We live in Australia. Everybody plays some kind of sports in Australia. But my husband and I specifically, we love tennis. We play a lot of tennis.
I love it.
And Deep Blue is the number one thing. Actually, you should probably be upset if I tell you the story. But when I started with doTERRA, he wasn't familiar with essential oils and all of that. And he's a lawyer, so he's a very, logical type of person, matter of fact things. And he's like, well, how do those things work? And, and so the first thing I gave him was Deep Blue. And I said,
great pick.
Try this after your next tennis match and we'll talk again. Nice. And sure enough, he came home and rubbed some. It was the rub on his calf muscles.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he went, oh my, this is real. Yeah. This really works. And so there's Deep Blue everywhere in our house, in the tennis bags, in the bathroom, everywhere.
I love it.
So yeah, it's a very special product for us.
That's so fun. Do you guys play pickleball at all? I know that's controversial.
It's becoming very big in Australia. Pickleball, paddleball, you name it. Yeah. So yeah. I'm a bit of a tennis snob, so sorry, I stay on the tennis side, but I hear it's a lot of fun.
We also learned something super interesting a couple months ago. Emilie Wright told us that she puts a drop of Deep Blue oil on top of her stick before she uses it. So it's wow. I know, kind of a fun tip. Awesome. We're really big into Deep Blue in my house too. We love sports as well, and I tend to grab the stick more than the rub, but this is usually forgotten, and I've been trying to incorporate it more. And so, are they the same? Do you know if they're the same? Aren't they different?
The basis is the same.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But Deep Blue, I also use it, the oil in particular, with the traveling, or even at the end of the day when I go to bed. I actually like to rub some on my neck. That's how I use it quite a bit as well.
That's so great. Thank you. Okay, awesome tips. Thanks for sharing. A lot of times we like to think of, or at least consider our listeners or our watchers brand new users. And so I just really love keeping it basic. So the neck and after, doing sports, all of that's really helpful. So thank you so much for sharing that. We are so happy you have been here. You have just given us so much to think about. Will you please come back? We'd love to have you back.
I would love to come back.
Okay,
thanks for having me.
Next time you're visiting, we'll have you back. And thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that you get your Deep Blue blend out. Also, all the other Deep Blue products as well. We hope you're using them daily. We encourage you to use them daily because they're just so helpful. Thanks for joining us today. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'd love to see you next week.